You know, guys, you've heard me say billions of times that there is a war on manhood in Hollywood and entertainment and show business. And within that war, on the front lines would be the image of white males. You know what I mean? Admittedly, I will say this, is that white males and the white male image is under attack. Constantly and way too often, you see these progressives come into the space of geekdom and just about anything else you can name, but geekdom for the sake of what we're talking about here. And they will point out that there's not enough diversity and inclusion. We need more everything. But what we don't need more of is white guys totally overlooking the fact that most of the time the properties that they're seeking to infiltrate was usually created by white guys. You know, when they want to get into Star Wars and they want to start changing shit around, they will ignore and try to disrespect the fact that Star Wars was created by George Lucas. When you want to get into Star Trek and you want to come up with Mikey Spock and all that shit, and you want to talk about what needs to change, you totally overlook the vision and the talent and the creation of Gene Roddenberry, you know, who was all about, you know, diversity and all of that stuff. Back in the 60s, he was doing that, but you don't want to give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it just goes on and on and on, you know, so you want to attack that image. But I've also said that the image of the black male was the original toxic masculinity. Black males were targeted way back in the day. And it disturbs me to say, when I was growing up, it mortified me to know that I was going to grow up and one day become a black man, because every time you watch TV, all you ever saw, all they ever emphasized on the news was black people doing wrong, black people doing crime, black people ain't shit. You turned on Oprah, all she ever did was shit on black people. Black men, I should say. All right, you turned on Ricky Lake, you know, whatever you can name. You know, Maury's been going on forever. You know, all he does is showcase deadbeat dads and shit. You know what I mean? And when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, is that going to be what I am? It's like, to a certain degree, I had to stop and actually tell myself I have to be proof of my own goodness. You know, I can't look to anybody else. You know, I guess that's the reason why it never fucking bothered me when I looked on the movies and didn't see myself. You know, because if I did see myself or someone who looked like me, it usually wasn't going to be complimentary, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I think that today there has to be some sort of pushback, because the shit has gone far enough. You know what I mean? It's like our kids are beginning to show the signs from generation to generation. It shows you what happens when you disregard the father figure, when you disregard the male figure in children's lives. It's well documented, guys. And I want to talk about this story that I have here, because it's not to dump on Billy Porter, all right? That's what got me started here. It's not to dump on actor, dancer, singer Billy Porter, who's going to be starring in Cinderella, or a remake of Cinderella. This is more about the implications of putting a certain image, in this case of black manhood, out there without balance, okay? So let's get into this, guys. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And straight off the rip, I want to give a big old shout out to friend of the Dark Council, Terminus EST, who actually shared a post with me and the rest of the Dark Council brothers on Twitter. Just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I'm just getting around now to talking about this because I feel that it deserves talking about. Okay, so what he's talking about is Billy Porter being in this remake of Cinderella. Okay, so I'm going to hip you to what's going on, and I'm going to give you my commentary and explain to you why I chose to actually address this. Okay, so I found this particular link in out.com. Okay. Not exactly a website that I frequent, all right? But for the sake of the story, I went there to find out what was going on, all right? So don't read too much into it, all right? Out.com. And I'm going to read a little excerpt here of Billy Porter talking about what's going on here, okay? There's actually a trailer. Maybe I'll leave this stuff in the comment section so you guys can check it out, okay? And Billy Porter, talking about his role as the fairy godmother in the Cinderella remake, says, "Very often, our old fairy tales can be slightly problematic for modern-day consumption," Porter said via telephone. "This version speaks to that, as it is very much about the empowerment of women, as a result of the need and necessity to tell diverse stories that are inclusive." There it is! Once again, guys, diversity and inclusion. And you guys know around these here parts what I say the road to hell is paved upon. Yes, diversity and inclusion. All right, so there it is. All right, Billy Porter is saying this new remake of Cinderella is supposed to be empowering to women. And of course, being empowering to women is all we really care about. You know what I mean? And of course, being merciful and pitiful to black people, to black men, all that shit. When you talk about George Floyd, everybody stands up and everything like that, right? But, that's what's important in this case, all right? He's talking about being empowering to women, all right? Nobody ever talks about being empowering to men. No, we're supposed to be depowering to men. I remember my son one time, he was looking at all of these posters around his school where it was talking about this girl's club and that girl's club and being empowering to little girls. And he was like, well, Dad, where's the stuff for boys? I'm like, I don't know, son. Maybe if you put on a dress, maybe, they'll feel the need to empower you and clap for you. But, that is actually the truth, because it seems to me that the only time that a black man can get celebrated in Hollywood is when he puts on a dress. Then everybody's like, oh, my God, he's so brave. Oh, can you imagine what he must have had to go through? I'm glad he's living his truth. Yay! And there you have it, okay? You got Billy Porter, who actually does, wear a dress. He does what he does. But like I said, whatever. This is not anti-Billy Porter. It's not anti that lifestyle. I'm not of that lifestyle. It's true. All right. But, hey, to each their own. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is where's the balance for black men who are trying to be, like black men in their family, who's trying to be a representative of heterosexual manhood. All right. But no, we get called toxic, and that's what I'm talking about. Well, let me see what else is going on here. All right. Porter plays Fab G, and his Fab G character is Cinderella's genderless fairy godparent. Although in the trailer he says, I'm your fairy godmother, but they're saying fairy godparent. Fashioned in stunning orange and gold sequin dress, in true Billy Porter style, who is tasked with helping Cinderella to make her dreams come true. The actor says he's honored to be a part of director Kay Cannon's vision for a fresh new take on the classic story. Kay looked at the fairy godmother and said, "It's time to shake it up," Porter said, and I get to benefit and portray a character for today's generation to look up to and to be entertained and inspired by. Okay, so he is admitting that his character is supposed to be looked up to and inspired by. And you know something? Fine. Like I said before, this is not anti anything. I'm just looking for the balance. A story like this makes me wonder where the balance is, because I am actually raising my son. I'm raising my heterosexual son to feel good about himself. All right. So all I'm saying is, if Hollywood feels so strongly about the self-esteem, and the stability, mental and emotional of children, then where is the balance, okay? Because it's been well documented what happens to children, all children, including girls. You want to be empowering to girls. All right, girls can benefit from having a strong male heterosexual figure in her life as well. But where is the Hollywood lift up for that, okay? Not anti-Billy Porter, not anti him playing the fairy godmother. I'm saying, where is the balance? That's what I'm wondering. I'm calling hypocrisy on Hollywood right now. I'm not fucking bashing what's going on over here with Cinderella. It just brings up a question to me. All right, if it's really about empowerment, if it's really about supporting these kids, then where is that representation? All right, where is CFT? Fuck CRT. Where's CFT? Critical family theory. Where's that curriculum? I'm wondering where it is, because it is well known. All right, let me read something to you right here. The father absence crisis in America. Children who are growing up without a father. That could mean a biological father, an adoptive father, it can mean just about anything you can name. Okay, you got to have that father figure, you know what I mean? But children who are growing up without that are 4 times greater the risk of poverty, 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. You want to talk about empowering young women. All right. Usually a father knows the fucking bullshit that another man is going to talk to your young daughter. You know what I mean? A father can tell a young girl, be on the lookout for that one, because the mom is usually just as, not all the time, but the mom can sometimes be taken by the charm, of a man just as much as her daughter can. It takes a father a lot of times to be able to come in and say, no. No, not my daughter. He's full of shit. You're going to stay away from him. Oh, but dad. Yo, you heard what I said. Get in the room and cover up. You know what I mean? That's what a dad does, all right? So you're 7 times more likely to come up pregnant as a teen. You're more likely to have behavioral problems. You're more likely to face abuse and neglect. You're 2 times more likely the risk of infant mortality. You're more likely to abuse, or the child is more likely to grow up to abuse drugs and alcohol. They're more likely to go to prison. They're 2 times more likely to suffer obesity. Let me see what else here. They're more likely to commit crime, and they're more likely to drop out of high school. You know, just about every social ill you can name comes from not having a strong father figure in your life. Yet and still, in this society, we have the nerve, the absolute fucking nerve, to have a term such as toxic masculinity. Okay? But you will celebrate a man wearing a dress and wearing some heels. There's nothing fucking toxic about that, right? No, of course not. You clap for that. And cool, like I said before, people have a right to live the way that they live. All I'm saying is, where is the reason in all of this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing it and I'm seeing the push and I'm like, well, like I said before, where's the balance? You know, where is it? You know, and when you watch this trailer, you know, for Cinderella, it's like, of course, you know, this is like fucking terminally feminist. You know what I mean? Because you have Cinderella telling the prince, you know, I don't want to be stuck in here doing all these chores, but I don't want to be stuck just being your wife either. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what we're getting here. This is what's supposed to be empowering to women. All right. What if young girls want to be a mother? What if they want to be a wife? What if they want to be in love with a man? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Nobody's going to make a movie about that. Right? Not in Call It a Fairy Tale. Not without fucking with it. All right. All I'm saying is this is the direction that we're moving in. You know, and I have to cry foul, you know, just because there's no balance. You can have movies like this, you know, but when that's all it is and it's becoming disproportionate, you realize that there is some sort of indoctrination going on here. The man said that I want to be an inspiration to kids. I want to be looked up to by the kids. All right. Okay. You know, he wants to be looked up to by the kids. I guess we all kind of do. I can't fault him for that. But all I'm saying, once again, is the balance. You know what I'm saying? Just have some balance. And I don't see that. You know, and I look at the male image, the black male image, so sorely lacking. You know, you wonder what's going on in the ghetto, in the hood and stuff like that. There's plenty of fathers in the hood, all right? There's plenty of, you know, and everything, but there's not a lot that know how to be committed as fathers and loving as fathers, you know, and it's because it wasn't given to a lot of us, you know, so you have to push back on that, guys, because that's what it takes. Everybody wonders, what's it going to take, you know, to fix the hood? What's it going to take to stop the shooting in the streets? Every time there's a shooting out here, they get on the news, they show mothers, it's getting out of control, my baby, I don't know what's going to happen, Teach the daughters how to choose better men, okay? Make fairy tales about that shit, why don't you? That's what it's going to take to save some lives. But they won't do that. And that shows me that they're full of shit. They'll come up with a critical race theory, but they won't come up with a critical family theory. There's no books, there's no movies, there's no dolls, there's nothing about that encourages that. That encourages committed fathers and mothers in relationships, raising their children in a loving way and productive way and a positive way. Where's that? You ain't gonna find that. But I'm here to tell this truth, all right? You don't have to like it, you know, but I'm gonna light this shit up every time I get a chance because I don't know when they're gonna pull the plug on all of this free speech shit. You can't see what's coming down the road, but if we don't wise up, we're all going to see it, and sooner than you think. So you better speak up. You better speak your mind. You better speak your good sense while you have a chance. And that's what I'm going to do every fucking time I get a chance. All right, guys, so you can tell me what you think about this. Of course, like I said before, 1,000,000 times, I ain't here to be dumping on homosexuals. I'm not here to be dumping on heterosexuals, okay? All I'm saying is I'm challenging the notion that children have to be guided in a certain direction. Kids don't even like to see heterosexual. How many kids, when they see their parents being affectionate, are like this? You know what I mean? They cover their eyes. Even when you get grown, you don't like to think about your parents fucking. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is watch how we approach things with the children and question everything. Why? Why does it have to be this way? You know, why do children? Why does a drag queen have to be inserted into a children's story? You know, I don't know if he considers himself a drag queen, to be fair, but I'm just saying, guys. All right, so anyway, get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. What are you seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Fathers, stand up, guide your kids. The most empowering thing a little girl can have is a strong father. Don't let them fucking lie to you, okay? We're not natural enemies, men and women. We're supposed to work together. But that's enough of my soapboxing. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Thank you. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.